Hello, hello. Oops. Oh, okay, we are unmuted. Good. Good. Yes, hello, hello. I've arrived. And yes, I am here today on an odd day. Usually don't stream on Saturdays, and I don't necessarily plan on doing so regularly in the future. Yeah, initially I was planning, I just got back from being out of town a little bit ago. A little while ago. And I was just, I was planning initially on just waiting until next week to start speedrunning again. But I got a little bit excited because there's been some developments in the world of Jamestown speedrunning. Namely, yes, there has been another run submitted to the leaderboards and approved. It had actually been submitted I think it was submitted before. Let's see, yeah, submitted on the 7th. So before I even started running the game, I think, if I'm doing the math in my head correctly, which I believe I am. But yeah, so someone, oh wait, am I reading that right? Yes, I am reading that right. But yeah, wait, when did I, hold on. I've gotten so excited that I've forgotten like how long I've been playing this game. Oh well. Now, let's see, where was I? Oh, I'm not sure. Well, anyway. Point is, there's someone else. A runner who goes by Back on My BS on speedrun.com and as, let's see. Yeah, Lowcampster on Twitch. And I'll give them a shout out here. Or post a link to their page, I suppose. Oops. Got too many windows open. But yes, Lowcampster here has submitted a run. Not a world record run or anything like that. Not to disparage them or anything. But yeah. I don't know, I haven't I'm getting ahead of myself. But yeah, I saw this and I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. We're gonna have, there's, some pretty recent activity here. I thought that was pretty cool. So let's see. So as I was saying, yeah, I wasn't originally planning on streaming now, because I never plan on streaming on Saturdays, but I got very excited by the notion of, additional runners coming into Jamestown speedrunning. And I wanted to make sure that, I've already got a lead on, so I gotta keep up that lead so I don't get left behind. But yeah. So another thing is I've decided I'm gonna run Jamestown, like Jamestown, the original Jamestown, instead of Jamestown Plus, at least for the time being. Originally I was playing Jamestown Plus, and I figured, this game is pretty similar to Jamestown, and it wasn't different that I recalled, like in any way that I could notice. So I figured this will be fine. I'll just play on this version, submit on this version, and all that. But yeah, based on my observations, and also, on the actual Steam page for Jamestown Plus, the game is different in a number of ways. For one thing, I started playing Jamestown, like practicing the original Jamestown, when I was out of town. Yeah, I started practicing that, and I noticed I don't have enough experience with the two games to be able to point out exactly, okay, this is different, but they definitely do feel different from what I've seen. They feel different in a lot of places. So I figure, they feel different. The menuing's different. Like I noticed the menus are different in Jamestown versus Jamestown Plus. And yeah, I don't know, it feels like the bosses are a little bit different. Like maybe, I'm not sure, because I haven't been timing my practice. I probably should have been. But, I I don't have live split on on my laptop that I was using. And I don't know, I wanted it to be a bit of a surprise, you know, if I even to myself, if I was like, you know, doing notably better than before. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of differences. A lot of things that well, I don't know, I was going to say a lot of things that I'm not used to. But I guess at this point I have played Jamestown more than I played Jamestown Plus, if only by a little bit. So yeah, I'm also, one very recent change is the fact that I'm now using my PS4 controller. Originally I was using my keyboard, but I found out in practice that if I'm pressing essentially I can't press 4 keys at the same time, which is not something that always comes up. But for instance, if I'm pressing Z and X and a direction, or say, you know, Z or X and 2 directions, then sometimes it just eats my spacebar inputs. They don't come through no matter how long I hold or anything like that. It's not even, you know, a delay. It's just, they don't happen. Which is obviously, you know, bad. Very much not preferable. Especially in the speedrun context where being able to vaunt immediately at any time or, you know, whatever else might be, you know, helpful. Because in addition to that, if I keep trying to press 4 keys at the same time, even if I let go of the directional key or of whatever directional key I'm holding, I'll keep moving in that direction until I release enough keys that my keyboard decides, okay, we're going to start sending normal input now. So I think I'm pretty confident that that is an issue with my keyboard, because I know that there are some keyboards that do have the issue of only being able to send so many inputs at once. And this keyboard is I've mentioned it before, but it's like a $10 keyboard that I've had for, I don't know, probably the better part of 10 years at this point. I could not begin to fathom how decrepit and ancient this keyboard is in terms of computing equipment, I suppose. It's a bit of a rough scene. It's also not been cleaned very regularly because I'm not very good about that. I am thinking about getting a new nice mechanical keyboard or something like that, but that's a ways off because those are expensive. It's like $100 for a pretty decent mechanical keyboard, and yeah, that's with me trying to avoid big name brand keyboards. From what $100 or around about there does seem to be the baseline for a decent quality mechanical keyboard with all of the keys. And, you know, even if I went for one with not a full set of keys, which I'd rather not do, because, you know, if I have to give up numpad, then that means that I can't, oh, come on. Oh, do I not have hotkeys set up in this? Oh, I don't have hotkeys set up on this profile. Right. But, I was about to say without the numpad, I can't, use my expression hotkeys and whatnot. But, I can't use my expression hotkeys at all right now because I didn't set them up. I forgot about that. Alright. So, where was I? I don't know, I've said a whole lot, and I've spoken a whole bunch and said very little here. So, in short, there's more Jamestown activity. It's very exciting. I want to play some Jamestown now. And maybe, just maybe, with the slightly improved control setup, we might just be able to... I don't know, that probably won't be the thing that gives me the world record, but, you know, it is well within our grasp. We know this. And so yeah, I've been developing strats a little bit. I'm inclined to believe that Bomber is pretty good as a ship. It's not a ship that I want to use. You know what, actually, let's just get into the game, and I'll talk a little bit more about my thoughts and whatnot. Game. Oh, right, also. Yeah, I thought about, or not thought about, but I was planning to Hello? Okay, there we go. I was planning to update my layout a little bit for streaming, or for streaming with live split, but I didn't do that. I didn't do that. So yeah, so one thing, the levels are laid out slightly differently, which isn't a huge thing, but I figure in a game that's largely auto-scroller, the way the menus are laid out is somewhat relevant, because that's one of the major time saves, is good menuing. And so yeah, so on this profile, I don't have, well, for one thing, I don't have the Gunpowder Treason and Plot DLC. So I don't have access to any of the DLC ships, so I still haven't experimented with them. I've decided that Gunner's not really... It's good. It's a good ship. But it's not as good for speedrunning. It doesn't get the quick kills that you can get with Charge and Bomber. Did I just... Oh, whoops. I did not mean to choose Bomber there. Because yeah, I am still slightly learning relearning the controls now that I am on controller. But yeah, so some bosses, I think, are pretty good to fight with Bomber, and some are better with Charge, basically. And it goes in a pretty simple pattern. Like, Bomber is okay for East Frontier, or more specifically for Tyrant Prince. Because yeah, it's the bosses. The bosses are the big part of the game that's like relevant. If you get good times on the bosses, then that's the bulk of your time save. Because, you know, in the auto-scrollers, you can't save time, you can only lose time. And any ship is competent for the purposes of the auto-scroller segments. So yeah, so East Frontier, the bullet patterns, specifically on the second phase of Tyrant Prince, are hard to maximize DPS with Bomber on. So I use Charge for this level. And Dark Sector, the boss is pretty easy to deal a pretty significant amount of damage to with Bomber. Because, now, if you are behind the boss, then it can't shoot you. Its little, plant buddies can shoot you. And they will shoot you. Believe you me, they will shoot you. Its little plant buddies will, or I should say her, it's Lady of the Lake. Her plant buddies will shoot you. But the boss can't shoot you from behind, at least during the first and third phases. So that's a lot of good Bomber damage. And yeah, it's just really good for phase 2 as well. Charge is in theory also pretty good if the little sprouts come up in a good pattern, but that's not necessarily consistent, so I prefer Bomber for consistency there. Badlands, first and second phase of Dread Sentry, no question. Charge is so good. Charge is so good on Dread Sentry. Charge is really good on the third phase of Dread Sentry too, because Dread Sentry's got a huge hurt box. Or a huge... I can never remember which one refers to the part that you can take damage in. I think it's hurt or hitbox. I think hitbox is the box that gets hit, and hurtbox is the box that hurts. Yes, New Madrid. New Madrid is actually it's so much faster on Bomber that it's really hard to it's hard to even compare any of the other ships. It's pretty fast on Beam actually. But it's super fast on Bomber. I'm going to take a sip real quick. But yeah, Bomber's still the ship that I'm the least confident with. And the least consistent with. So I'm not very consistent on the quick kills on the boss on New Madrid. But yeah, Bomber's pretty good in general in New Madrid, to be honest. And then Croatoa. Again, Bomber's just got really good DPS. It's got really good DPS. But it's really hard. I haven't even managed to get to Heart of Mars with Bomber. At least not trying quick kill strats. Or I haven't been, yeah. Because yeah, in order to kill quickly with Bomber, you have to be like right up next to enemies so that you can hit them with your explosion hitbox. And like not have to send out projectiles, detonate them, wait to send out another wave of projectiles, detonate them. But yeah, in theory, you know, if all of your projectiles are close enough to the boss that they all damage them when you detonate them and you've got a bunch of them stacked up, it could still... The DPS output is probably still approximately the same as it would be if you were right up close to them. But that's I don't know. I haven't reached a point where I'm good enough to do that yet. So charge is a lot easier to position for Croatoa, for Conquistador, and for Heart of Mars. It's really good on Heart of Mars. But, well, I mean, it's charge is just really good for both phases of the boss, to be honest. But it's especially good on... No, it's just good in general. Like, I was gonna say there maybe one ship is better at one phase than, or whatever other phase than charge, but I really don't think that's true. So yeah. So basically, oh yeah. What I was saying, and I don't think I actually made this point, but what I wanted to say was that the bullet patterns on, in particular, the second phase of Tyrant Prince make it really hard to get in and stay in and deal consistent DPS. And again, potentially we could do similar DPS from far away if we were good at timing and positioning, but I haven't reached that point yet. Dark Sector, again, bombers, just much better. Like, charge does perform very well in Dark Sector, but I think bomber's better. It's still kind of hard in my hands, or it's hard for me because I haven't mastered it yet. But the fact that you can hit the boss from behind and still do like your full DPS, while, you know, not having to dodge the laser and have to, you know, sweep wide to the side and, you know, lose out on DPS due to that is just a huge. Badlands, again, it's kind of hard to hit all of the nodes, or like it's hard to hit multiple nodes with a single charge shot. But when you do, boy does it work. And yeah, it's harder to do that with Bomber, and I think, I don't know, it just feels a bit slower. New Madrid again, Bomber is really good. Charge is pretty good, but it's much weaker. Honestly, New Madrid might be a stage where if I couldn't use Bomber, I would use Beam instead. And I might end up doing that in the run for consistency's sake. But yeah, then Croatoa, no question, charge. Alright, so now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's see if I can remember my hotkeys. Yes, there we go. Yes. Oh wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. I remember the hotkeys. Whoops. Oh, I'm angry. I didn't mean to be angry. Sorry. Why am I angry? I shouldn't be angry. Oh wait, hold on. Hold on. Alright, sorry. I didn't mean to get angry there. Alright, so it turns out that I do have my... I do have my hotkeys set up, but I forgot what they were. So that's 2 attempts that didn't actually happen. So let's undo that. Alright, so... And I've also got to change my hotkeys so that I don't get angry in the middle of the race at the end of each race. Alright, where's my hotkeys? There they are. Yes, I thought it was left alt to control my emotion, but in fact it is left control. Alright. So yes, and just to... Yes, okay. I don't get angry very often. Hopefully, you know, I won't be put into a position where I have to get angry very often. But it's not... I don't know, I just thought it was worth noting. Alright. Now, so yes, so yeah, timing starts when you choose your ship. Actually, I don't know. I know that the speedrun.com page has changed, so I'm gonna double check to make sure that there haven't been any revisions to the rules. Maybe I should have checked this beforehand. But yes, so timer begins upon selecting your ship on East Frontier. You can skip the beginning dialogue by unchecking the Show Prologue option when selecting difficulty. Timer will end depending on which difficulty you choose. Please refer to the rules on the difficulty you intend on running for more information. So for Legendary, the timer ends on the final hit on the Conquistador's second form, the Heart of Mars. Alright. So once we have our ship chosen, which, yeah, this is... Actually, whoops. Alright, so let's try that again. Also, I'm not seeing the... I didn't see the skip prologue option, which maybe I just wasn't paying attention. Yes, I wasn't paying attention. Alright. Actually, can you, like, skip dialogue? No. Actually, well, it gives you the option to at the end of the level. So yes, alright. So once we have chosen our ship, then we will begin. And remember, it's... Okay, left alt is going to be is a bit inconvenient for the run, or is a bit inconvenient for the split, but it is what it is. Alright, I've waffled enough here, so let's get started in, a few seconds. Alright. Yeah, I hope that, well, I was going to say, I hope that the audio is good, but I suppose I haven't, like, changed the audio in any way, so it shouldn't be different than what it was before. And I didn't have any complaints before, so I'm assuming it's good. Or maybe you all are just polite. Yeah, I've got to say, I just noticed in the background there something that I never noticed before, and it's the fact that they have tractors on Mars, which shouldn't be, I suppose, shouldn't necessarily come off as all that exotic, considering the fact that they have flying ships that shoot some sort of energy projectile. So, tractors are not that odd in comparison. Not that odd or exotic or powerful. But yeah, it's an interesting little touch to make it so, it's not just the technology that's relevant to the gameplay that's that's advanced beyond what it is in your timeline. And my timeline, I suppose, also. But at this point in time. But it's, all avenues of technology. It's just that the ones that are relevant to the game are the ones that you see the most often. And so yeah, so as before, there's not really any specific strat, I don't think, for the bulk of the levels, I don't think. It's just a matter of, don't mess up. Don't mess up, don't spend credits if you can avoid it. And, have Vaunt by the time the boss shows up. So yeah, so for as per right now. But yeah, so this... Yeah, we're gonna want more gold. I think we... No. No, we want to stay in Vaunt as much as possible. Whoops. So yeah, so the big spiral pattern... right after I say we want to stay in Vaunt as much as possible, I die. But the big spiral pattern... Oh, also... The big spiral pattern is a big part of what makes it hard to run this on Bomber. Whoops. Oh, I hope I didn't press okay, good. I was worried that I had pressed rebind controls by accident, but no, we're good. Also, do my eyes deceive me, or does my splitting deceive me or something? Because I'm reading a 25-second time save on the first stage, which is pretty wild. Like, I was timing it correctly before, right? Yeah, so one thing I've noticed that seems to apply to the original Jamestown, but not to Jamestown Plus, is in this stage, depending on like how well you do in the stage, and maybe this is just this is a thing that's in the other version, but I just never noticed due to having played this version more. But the better you do in this section of the stage, the more powerful the enemies that show up later are, or later in this section. Because yeah, if you did well enough, like leading up to that, like that guy, that big guy who just left, and we're in position to lose a credit here, unfortunately. But if you did well enough in the section leading up to that, big guy who filled the screen with bullets, then like 2 of them would show up, and that's bad. So you don't have to get hit or anything. I did get hit quite a bit, or I should say twice. Oops, I didn't mean to cancel Vaunt there, unfortunately, but it's fine because I have it back. I might need to rebind. Unfortunate. Might need to rebind some keys real quick, or not real quick, but when I get the chance. Because I thought I had right bumper down to Vaunt in the moment there, but it's actually right trigger, or left trigger. But yeah, so depending, yeah, again, I'm not 100% sure if that's a change from one version to the other, or if I've just, gotten better in the time that I've been playing, and since I've been playing mostly on Jamestown, the first, I just didn't notice it. I didn't notice it in Jamestown Plus. Ooh, that could have been really bad. I'm very glad that turned out all right. Oh, that didn't turn out all right. But yeah, so there's a lot of differences in the waves, and I'm still convinced that the bosses are somewhat different. I still have not been observant enough to be able to note those differences, but I'm convinced that they are. They feel different at the very least. And so yeah, so this is the end of the stage. So you want to, or the sort of strat that I've been using, is you want to cancel Vaunt, like, right before those Martians show up. And that was way too early, unfortunately. So this is going to be a little bit harder than it would be otherwise, and we've just lost a life, or we've just lost a continue. Well, we've lost a life, but well, c'est la vie. So yeah, actually, these are... At least the first phase of the buds are pretty easy to destroy with, yeah, that's a big time loss there, unfortunately. And especially a big time loss because we don't have Vaunt now. Oh, right, I forgot that you have, options now. Oh, we're actually in a bad way here. Alright, I got a little bit nervous. Alright, so this one's probably not on world record pace. Well, actually, I was gonna say... No, because this is a multi-minute long stage, like all the stages are. But yeah, I got a little bit nervous in. I don't know why, but I've been underperforming somewhat in New Madrid, or not Madrid. This isn't New Madrid, but yeah, I've been underperforming a little bit on this stage. So I guess my nerves got to me a little bit there. But yeah, like there seem to be, if I destroy these ships, among other things, like silver ships show up, like later on, like silver versions of the smaller enemy ships. Yeah, like here they are. And this pattern is different from what it was before. So again, I don't know if that's different from Plus, because I haven't played Plus enough and I haven't compared them directly. I haven't, done a run of both and then compared the runs or anything like that. Yeah, so now we are definitely pretty well behind on Dark Sector. I think we've still got a not insignificant amount of time to save on later stages. So never fear. Yeah, there's also the mechanic and like the like loading screen or the death hints in Jamestown Plus also mention this. But killing enemies in a particular way to make them drop more gold is a mechanic in this game. And given the fact that the loading screen tips or not loading screen tips again, death tips that the game gives you mention this mechanic in Jamestown Plus, I have to assume that it's still in Jamestown Plus. And perhaps maybe just the text doesn't show up, because now when enemies, when you kill them in the special way that makes them drop more gold, it says special, but I don't recall it doing that in Plus, and I feel like that's not just an issue of me being inobservant, which is not unusual, not all that rare, but I think that is legitimately a difference between them, and that's not in itself. Assuming that I don't know, because I'm out here talking about, okay, so here's the differences, here's why this game is different from the other, and it's all sort of in the spirit of I want to know, sort of to figure out whether or not my Jamestown Plus runs count, basically, whether they count as proper runs. Or whether, because I want to play Jamestown Plus, ideally. Just because, I have it, and I have, with it, I have all of the DLC ships and whatnot. And so, if they are better, then I'd like to be able to play it. And, essentially, what I'm saying is that I'd like to play Jamestown Plus without having to make, an entire new leaderboard for it or whatnot. And so yeah, so if you're a little bit more patient than I was, then you can maneuver a little bit better here. And if you're a little bit more patient than I am, you can maneuver a little bit better there too. Yeah. Mediocre performance on Lady of the Lake, unfortunately. Maybe I shouldn't stay so close to the top. Almost certainly not, actually, yeah. Because, yeah, not unless I have... Oh. Yeah, that's a whole 4 extra minutes on Dark Sector. That's unfortunate. Alright, so this is another charge level. Yes, where was I? But yeah, I've only started using Bomber on Roanoke fairly recently, so I'm not very good at it yet. But a lot of that was just me. It really can't even be. I don't want to be making excuses, because a lot of that just wasn't a matter of inexperience or anything like that. That was just me getting reckless and me thinking, well, I know this way to make this part of the boss easier. So clearly, I should just be able to ignore any trouble coming my way. Yeah, so from what I can gather, the logic behind the bonuses seems to be mostly, if you hit an enemy sort of in a unique state, generally, they drop more gold. So for some enemies, it means, you know, this doesn't apply to all enemies, or at least I haven't been able to figure out how it works for all enemies, if it does work for all of them. But, so for, like, the multi-turret ships on this level, you know, the ones that have been popping up here and there, like these guys. Well, the ones that have, like, multiple, like the 4 turrets on them, it seems that if you destroy all of the turrets before destroying the main body, then you get extra gold. And so there's some enemies that, like, if they have destroyable parts, you get a bonus if you destroy all of the destroyable parts before destroying the main ship. And there are some that, some that, like these jumpers, or hoppers, or whatever, that give you a bonus. Oh dear, didn't mean to do that. But it all worked out. Yeah, they give you a bonus if you hit them when they're in a state where they, you know, they're in their jumping state. And so yeah, one thing I should do is I should get used to being more confident with my shots there and not have to, you know, stick around so much to make sure that I'm continuing to shoot the boss. Because, you know, once the shots come out, then I can sort of, oh dear, rely on them to do the job, basically. And I should get more familiar with the positioning of my hitbox so I can be a little bit more careful. Also, split. I forgot to split there. But yeah, surprisingly, we did save time on Badlands. Only a little bit, but we did save time. But yeah, all in all, I feel like New Madrid is probably one of my, if not exactly my least consistent stages. Yeah, so I was initially planning to get started streaming earlier tonight, but I just sort of didn't. So we may not be around for too many attempts. And so yeah, so for these ships, like the you know, the multi-part ships, not the ones that are the trains, but the ones with the you know, you shoot their front, and then sort of their back is exposed. These ones here. I've found that you have to, basically the trick with them is you have to destroy all of the red portions before you destroy the green portion, and then you get the extra gold. So yeah, I feel like this is definitely a stage where charge is especially useful sort of during the stage. Because the charge projectile, like, pierces through enemies, and there's, you know, lots of instances where there's, like, a lot of enemies sort of in a line, and there's also the buildings, which are destroyable, and thus will block your shots on other ships. And you can get around that to a certain degree by just using the explosions on, because the explosion have a big hitbox, and that doesn't get, like, consumed when it hits something else. Like, you can hit multiple enemies at once with an explosion. But yeah, so being able to destroy, like, a lot of things at once is really useful on this stage in particular. Yeah, especially against these big guys. And so yeah, so some enemies, you know, drop their special when they enter a state where they can't shoot you. Some drop their special bonus when they've entered a state where they're about to shoot you. Like the explodey little plants on Roanoke. Like, they will, if you blow them up right before they explode, then they will drop their special bonus. And again, I've never seen that prompt, like the text that says special in Plus, but I don't know if that's just because it's not in Plus, or if the mechanic is entirely gone from Plus. Oops. Very, very unfortunate there. Gonna make that a little bit slower, but at least we're going to have, you know, Vaunt to start out with here, which means that we can play a little bit more recklessly here. And, you know, I wasn't intending to do that, but I did do it anyway. Yeah, honestly, that may be a strat. Oh, we actually saved a lot of time on that segment too. But that could be a thing that we make into a strat, maybe. But for right now, it just feels a little bit sloppy. But yeah, so on the, you know, on the Conquistador, on his last segment of the last Express there. Because yeah, it isn't Conquistador, it's Last Express. And the last segment of Last Express, the little damageable nodes will immediately shoot you. So if you are close enough, like within, you know, bomber range, then there's a very good chance that you will get shot and die immediately if you're not careful, which I am not careful very often, so. And see, I've also noticed there's sort of a visual glitch that occurs very often on this stage where sort of the enemies will after enemies die or their projectiles, like there's, you know, these little rings that show up when a projectile hits something, and sometimes those will just like linger a lot longer than they probably should. Like right here. And I haven't encountered that visual bug in Plus, and I don't think that's relevant to the run in any way, but you know. But yeah, so this gold I like to call swag gold because it's usually not necessary. It was necessary there because I was a little bit incautious, and but you know, this gold here essentially serves the same purpose, and it's a lot easier to go for. So, you know, you don't need to risk getting crushed to death in order to acquire it. Oh, I've never let that little enemy survive long enough to just sort of disappear on its own there. I didn't know that it did that. Interesting. But yeah, so this section is particularly hard for me to make consistent. I've done better at it, but I've also done just so much worse on it. Yeah, yeah, this stage is definitely a lot easier for me now, just from practicing. You know, I'm not really doing anything all that different. I'm just better at it from having played the game more. Whoops. I'm better at it, huh? I'm better at the game. But, you know, the improvement is there. The improvement is there. I shouldn't be goofing too much on myself. There we go. Yeah, I probably should wait longer there. Because, you know, if I can't move into this space immediately after shooting the big guy. Oh, I need to cancel. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh, this is tragic. But, yeah, if I don't move in immediately after killing the, like, you know, secondary shooter there, then it's just a big hassle. I have to dodge more shots and all that, and it's just unfortunate. Because yeah, really the only reason other than having Vaunt by the time you start the boss for doing really anything, but in particular anything, you know, good or efficiently in the normal stage is just to make it easier, essentially. Because yeah, the stage isn't really about doing well. You don't need to do well. You just need to make it easy for yourself. Because again, you can't earn time during the normal stage, but you can lose time. You can lose time, so, you know, don't lose time if you can avoid it. But yeah, so we've got a lot of gold splits right now, but unfortunately we did really badly in Dark Sector, like inexplicably really badly. So this is not the one. Unless I discover some sort of legendary Heart of Mars quick kill here. Man, I wonder who's gonna be the first person to discover like a real glitch for this game, like one that's like useful for the run. I wonder if this one will ever get discovered, or if it'll just be, you know, a game of who can you know, optimize the most. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see sort of the meta. So yeah, I don't necessarily intend to spend a whole lot of time speedrunning going forward, but I'm happy to be here for, like, you know, the beginning potentially of a cool new speed game. Alright, so we should be able to pop the bubble there. Nice, nice. Ah, unfortunate. But we should be pretty in the clear right now. Alright. Alright, slow on the split. But yeah, another gold split there. So yeah, much better. Much better in every stage except for Dark Sector, which was, again, inexplicably awful. I mean, I guess, you know, there's an explanation for it, but yes, so yeah, not bad, not bad. So yeah, so that is, I think, yeah, that's worse than our PB, it looks like. Worse than our PB, but we got a lot of gold splits. We got a lot of gold splits. Yeah, I'm just sort of looking at the data for this. Yeah, and it was just a really bad Dark Sector is sort of what killed us there. Just just novel Dark Sector. But other than that, you know, if it wasn't for the really bad Dark Sector, honestly, like we saved like a lot of time there. So I don't know, like, okay, what's sum of best? Oh, sum of best is like hold on. Let me reacquaint myself with world record. Yeah, sum of best is about 2 minutes faster than world record. I don't want to, you know, toot my own horn here, but okay, looks like my practice has paid off. But yeah, if we can tonight, like, work out this Dark Sector, like, we don't even need to do all that well. We don't even need to do all that well. We just need to not do terribly on Dark Sector and be somewhat consistent on the other stages. And like, it's, again, like, sum of best is like 2 seconds off world record, or sorry, 2 minutes off world record, 2 minutes faster than world record even. And that's exciting. That's an exciting thing. You know what? No, well, we'll keep the controls as they are because I don't want to have to, like, relearn in the middle of, like, you know, world record attempts, basically. So, whoops. Did I press the wrong button? No? It is? It's supposed to be Alt numpad 1, yeah? What's going on here? Are we good? Did I not officially end the run? Oh, right. Or, wait. Oh. Wait. Why isn't Live Split reacting? Are we good? Oh, okay. Okay, there we go. So, let's try that again. And go. So yeah, every single split we got was like much faster than our previous best. We had like almost nothing but gold splits in that run, except for Dark Sector, which went so badly because I was using the strat that I'm not accustomed to. And maybe it would be best to say, use a strat that I am accustomed to, which is to say charge, to use charge on that stage, because I'm more used to charge. But no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to continue doing the thing that's faster, even if it's harder. Because that's what speedrunning is, baby. Yeah. Plus, it's really like there really wasn't any reason for me to like mess up that badly. I just wasn't paying attention. I wasn't being careful. Because yeah, it was just just getting hit. Because like honestly, if I'm like, yeah, we'll save the Dark Sector for when we get to the Dark Sector. We don't need to worry about that. And yeah, another thing, I feel like if charge continues to be like an important part of the meta, and I don't have any reason to suspect it won't be, but if charge continues to be a good part of the meta, then we're going to need to know sort of when is the best to charge up a whole charge shot, and when it is acceptable to just say, half charge, one charge. And okay. I was worried that I was going to like lose a lot of gold there, but we're good. And also like vaunt and boss timings, because oh dear. Yeah, I vaunted like probably way too early there. Or not early enough actually, because some non-vaunt shots hit the boss. Alright, whoops. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, another gold split, which is pretty exciting. Alright, nope. Oh dear, tragedy. Oh wow, I really hope that I didn't like press the wrong difficulty on any previous levels. That would be really tragic. But we pretty much can't do worse. Well, I was going to say we can't do worse now than we did last time. We can if we, get another game over. But we're going to discount that possibility for the moment and assume that everything will be okay. Yeah, this section of Dark Sector, assuming that it does work by the logic that I've seemed to observe it working by, is definitely going to be the realm of some pretty serious swag strats. Making this section before you reach Roanoke just as difficult as you can, just for the sake of it. But yeah, I'm certainly willing to take more difficult, like a slightly more difficult like section immediately after that guy, in exchange for getting that guy out of my life as quickly as I can. Because as much as, the section immediately afterwards can harm me, he can harm me quite a bit more, and quite a bit more consistently too. Yeah, it'd be nice to have Vaunt coming into the approach to Roanoke, but it's really not that necessary, I don't think. Yeah, one thing that I sort of didn't take into account is the fact that it is a little bit harder to run this while I'm streaming. I got used to, slouching again because I haven't been streaming for like a week. But I can't do that because I, have my camera in front of the bottom part of my monitor if I don't angle myself properly. And if I'm, can't see a part of the bottom of my monitor, I'm at the bottom of the screen, then that's bad. That's very bad. But I feel good. I feel good. Yeah, it's interesting to think what sort of categories might arise in the future. I can definitely see a, all one ship type of run coming up at some point, or like a gauntlet run or something, maybe. I don't know, maybe not gauntlet, because as I understand it, gauntlet is basically just playing the game in like arcade mode, in that you have to finish it all in one sitting, which in theory, if it like, I don't know, could very well just be any percent but faster, basically. Let's see, yeah, we did get a little bit reckless here, so we're in a bit of a bad situation at the moment. Still very manageable. Still very manageable. I feel like there's a lot of visual differences in Roanoke, or rather I should say Dark Sector, in original versus Plus. Because like I feel like this, I was sort of relying on visual cues in Plus for knowing when I was getting close to the boss. And those visual cues don't seem to exist. Okay, so the options that sort of shoot the projectiles, the ring projectiles on this boss, spawn almost, it seems randomly. Because I'm certain that they didn't spawn in the first phase last time. I'm 100% confident of that. Of course, I could just be 100% wrong. But no, actually... okay, they definitely spawned now. Which is when I expected them to. Oop. Alright, so... Not, yeah, not a gold split, but we're still on PB pace, so that's good. And yeah, I mean, honestly, that's probably just due in almost entirely to the difficulty selection issue there. Because yeah, we didn't do too bad. I don't remember if we lost a credit or not. But, broadly speaking, we didn't do too bad. We did a pretty okay performance on Lady of the Lake. Yeah, I'm still not sure whether or not it's easier to take these enemies out or ignore them. Because, like, these enemies that, when you shoot one of them, their whole formation, starts coming for you. Though, yeah, from having more of them alive than usual, it definitely feels like, killing them is the optimal solution. Because leaving them alive leaves them able to shoot at you like a lot. Which I don't like. I don't like getting shot at a lot. A little bit is fine. But sort of the issue that I was running into a little bit in sort of practice mostly was, they having them like chase me, and like I tend to stick around the bottom of the screen, which isn't necessarily optimal. But I tend to stick at the bottom of the screen because very rarely does anything come from the bottom of the screen. But those little fellas can come from behind if you let them, which, preferably you don't, because they will, if you're at the bottom of the screen and they go off the bottom of the screen and come back up at you, then they can hit you before you can see them, or at least before I can see them. Which again, at least right now, is partially a consequence of my camera setup. Oh, and this guy has to die now, unfortunately. Because yeah, he gets very upset when I kill his buddy, and I didn't mean to kill your buddy. I am sorry about that. But yeah, when these guys start shooting off a lot of projectiles, or yeah, once you kill one of their buddies, then they start. Some of them, just shoot a big swirl of projectiles. Some of them shoot projectiles aimed at you, and in either case, it's just really bad sentry, unfortunately. Okay, that was all right. Probably could have been better, but it could have been a lot worse. Okay. I should probably make like a ooh, gold split, very nice. I should make like a split hotkey on my gamepad or something, I think. Because yeah, you can do that with Steam, I imagine. Alright, so that's New Madrid. Legendary. But yeah. Gauntlet, since I'm pretty confident Gauntlet stays at the same difficulty the entire run. Like that alone is a time save over playing normally. But yeah, I don't know. I stopped myself from doing this earlier, but I've started that up again, you know, talking about like making theories about like, oh, this could be a category. This could be this and that. When, you know, I haven't, you know, made contact with the rest of the Jamestown speedrunning community. So, I mean, I understand that you know, just from the runs that have been posted, represent, you know, a solid third of it. At the very least, out of people who have posted runs on speedrun.com. I represent about a third of the community, but, you know, that doesn't mean that I can just make decisions for them. Alright. This is a little bit scary, but we're doing alright. Yeah, I definitely should have dealt with that guy a lot sooner. Had to deal with a lot more projectiles than I would have liked on account of leaving him alive. I don't know if alive is necessarily the appropriate term. Most of these enemies seem to be robots, or at least it's implied that they are. From, well, we know that the ones in Badlands are robots, because it says so as much. Oh dear. So yeah, misjudged the time on my Vaunt there. But yeah, don't want to use up Vaunt now, so we'll just have to dodge manually. Yeah, one thing I've found, another difference is that sometimes it feels like enemies, the bullets like clear in sort of an odd fashion. Because like in particular on that last set of enemies before Last Express, it feels like sometimes if you blow up like one of them, oh dear. If you blow up one of them, the projectiles that the other one has shot will also explode, or will also clear. And I forgot the thing that I went out of my way to talk about last time, which was that they will shoot you immediately, so don't get too close to them. But yeah, Last Express, not terribly consistent. I'm actually behind pace now. But I don't know. I don't know. I think it's comparing. Yeah, it's comparing against some of best. It seems like, and not. It's comparing against some of best and not. Oh, what was I saying? Some of best and not. PB. Because yeah, I think my PB wouldn't have changed, would it? Personal best. My personal best wouldn't have changed, I don't think. Because yeah, our last run was just like, you know, it was faster on every stage except for one of them, you know? Pardon. It's a little bit late for me. Yeah, this is about the time that I would wrap up usually. But yeah, we were slower on, you know, most of that. Or we were faster on most of that. We were just so much slower on, you know, the previous attempt at, I mean, honestly, just Lady of the Lake, basically. That was the big stumbling block. We were so much slower. I don't know, I guess the whole of Dark Sector was pretty bad, but we were so much slower on Dark Sector and Lady of the Lake that it was just, you know, it completely, like, killed the run, essentially. Swag gold. But yeah, speaking of arbitrary nicknames, I've also decided that the enemies that sort of form a barrier by shooting projectiles towards each other, I like to call them buddy cops. One of them sort of a loose cannon. It's the one that starts shooting in a big spiral pattern whenever you take out his buddy. And the other one's more by the book. They aim directly at you. You know, they don't always hit you, but they aim directly at you. And together they're capable of accomplishing so much more than they are alone. Nobody can get past them. But apart, you know, they are left to flail helplessly. Not helplessly. They're still pretty deadly on their own. But they're especially deadly together. Yeah, one thing we can do to save a life here is, you know, not... I was going to say not forget about the, you know, these guys, because I remember one of them shot me earlier and lost me a life on that section. But, you know, it also do me well to not forget that I can get crushed, even when I'm in Vaunt and otherwise invincible. Right, so we need to hold off on taking out this partner. Yeah, cancel Vaunt. And I guess, you know, if you're going to cancel Vaunt, you don't necessarily need to take out the partner at all. Alright, so we have Vaunt going into this. I'm still not 100% used to reading Live Split. But yeah, so previous segment... Okay, so yeah, so previous segment is about 6 seconds worse than my best on that segment, I think. It says previous segment plus 5.8. Whereas, you know, over in the, you know, next to the segment itself, it says plus 1. So I'm assuming the plus 1 means it's 1 second slower than PB, basically. Whereas the plus 5.8 means that it's plus 5.8 slower than that level's personal best. And so yeah, so if you do this right, and I almost lost my nerve there, but if you do this right, you don't have to, you know, move to shoot the, or you only have to move like once, if at all, because the Conquistador will always, you know, that phase of the boss will always end before the bullets reach you. So you can just sort of, pardon me, I had to adjust my posture a little bit. But yeah, you can move before you don't need to move because the boss will always, the projectiles will always clear before the boss can hit you with them, basically. Oh dear. Oh, that's a big time loss. Well, unfortunate, but you gotta live with it. We are still... I don't dare look over at the moment, but I think we're still, like... doing good, I think, broadly speaking. Like, I don't know, maybe we're not, like, world record pace anymore, but we're almost certainly still on PB pace. Alright. So yeah, positioning these orbs is also going to be, I think, a big thing going forward, in theory. Oh dear. All right, I'm choking a little bit. I'm choking a little bit. All right. Oops. All right. So I was a little bit slow on that split. But we're still worse than some of best, unfortunately. And yeah, we're still worse than world record actually. Because world record was what, 22 or 19 seconds. Or wait, hold on. Or no. Wait, oh, we got world record. Oh, pardon me. But yeah, we got a world record, actually, on what I thought was what I was thinking was like a bad run. But yeah, we got world record actually. All right. So I guess we've just got to like submit this and all that, because unless my eyes deceive me, and I'm going to double check speedrun.com again. Yeah, world record is 22 minutes 19 seconds, and we just beat it by a little under 2 minutes. Yeah, I can compare against world record. Nice. So yeah, it looked bad because I was comparing against best segments, and it was worse than my best segments. That was a slow Croatoa. Dark sector could have been better because I messed up I messed up a lot on the menuing on dark sector. But yeah, we got we got world record. That's nice. But yeah, so that's I mean, I imagine that must be new. Yeah, that's a new PB. I don't know why I was questioning that, because yeah, that's definitely a new PB. Yeah, I'm not really sure where to go about with that actually. But yeah, that's pretty good. I'd say that's pretty good. Yeah, I'm just not sure what to say about that, to be honest. All right. Well, it's kind of late. Yeah, it's late. I just got world record, so I don't necessarily want to keep doing this. So, we'll end we'll end the stream, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty sick. And, it's on Jamestown, the original Jamestown. So there's absolutely no no doubt that this is legit, because I would, again, I was reluctant to submit for a while because I wasn't sure if Jamestown plus runs counted. But, we played on Jamestown, and we beat the world record by, like, we played on normal Jamestown, we beat the world record by 2 minutes. So, yeah. I don't know. What do we want to do now? Well, we gotta get a raid in. So let's yeah. All right, let's take a deep breath. Is let's let us do. Yeah, I can't salvage that sentence. We'll take a deep breath is what we'll do. And yeah, I think we will. Yes. We will drop by Udokami. But yes, before that, yes, thank you for being here for a pretty good run, I guess, in by every reasonable definition of the term. Yeah. Yes. Thank you to, thank you to Locamster for inspiring me to really, like, give it my all here for, 99er. And I'm gonna link 99er's Twitch again. I did it last time, but I'm gonna link it again. Yes, thank you 99er for, setting up the leaderboard and all that, bringing to mind the idea to even, attempt this. But yeah, definitely time to be saved. But yeah, a lot of improvements to be made. But, pretty good. Pretty good by, again, any reasonable definition of the term, I guess. I try not to, I don't want to, be, look at me, I'm cool, world record man now. But, I also don't want to, I don't want, like, any false modesty. I'm very happy with, tonight's results. But yeah, the practice has paid off in a big way. So, I guess business. I didn't talk about business at the start of the stream, but we'll talk about business now. So, next week, we're going to be back to usual, I think. We're going to be playing Ni no Kuni Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I think I might try to push out an extra half hour or so of Ni no Kuni content per Ni no Kuni stream next week. Because I want to pick up the pace a little bit on the game. It's the game, I guess, the last big game I played was, it would have been, what was it? Hollow Knight. And, Hollow Knight, yeah. Compared to Hollow Knight, the Jamestown playthrough has been interrupted a whole lot more by, weeks where I just sort of, did something else. Because, there's been more times when I've had to be out of town, I think, at least. And, there was, the week when, there's been more out of town weeks and half weeks and just all sorts of things to, slow down the pace of our progression in the game. And it's beginning to feel a little bit long in the tooth. But, I'm still enjoying the game. I'm enjoying it whenever I play it. So I certainly don't want to stop playing it. I don't want to give it up. But yeah. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we'll be playing more Ni no Kuni. Tuesday, we will be continuing our Borderlands 2 collab. Of course, I wasn't able to be around for that last week, but it didn't happen last week because I wasn't there. But yes, we'll continue to be playing with Altariana and Judo Kami and Sheppy Sheps. And that will be all very nice and lovely as usual. And then on Thursday, I don't know, I thought about playing more Jamestown on Thursday, but I think we might give it a little bit of a break, especially since with the start of the work week again, I will not necessarily have as much time to practice. So, I won't be, I don't know what point I'm making here. But, also, hold on, one thing I didn't notice. Actually, how do I... Because yeah, we've got a new follower from a few days ago, and I know there was that I could like pretty easily, or I knew how to replay like prompts for someone like following off like if they followed off stream. I knew how to replay that notification, but I don't know how to do that now that I'm on OBS normal. Edit widgets maybe? Nope. What am I indeed? Well, thank you, ObsVR, for the follow. I'm not sure if I can, like, make you show up here, but thank you for the follow anyway. Yeah, I'll just have to figure that out later. So, like I said, we're gonna raid Judo Kami. So let's, do that, I guess. As one does when one is raiding someone. Because yeah, we've got all the business out of the way, I think. All of the business that I, have detailed information about. So yes, once again, thank you all for being here. I will get to submitting this run as quick as I can, and hopefully, get it approved and all that as quick as possible, because I am pleased as punch, as they say. So yes, once again, thank you very much. I hope you all have. Oh, hold on. I forgot. The raid message is, as always, we have arrived. So, once again, hope you all have a fine night. Let us get this raid underway. Thank you very much.